Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I was gonna wait till tomorrow to do the 6 cent video, but I'm kind of getting a little impatient because I really get excited about this bag and I'm ready to see what's inside, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it today. Alright, for those of y'all that don't know who 6 Cents is, they're their own company. They make their own baits and they make some dang good ones, especially their hard baits. Their crankbaits are like out of this world. I mean, their paint jobs are just really good. I mean, and they're not cheap, you know. It ain't like you can catch one fish and it's gonna be all scuffed up and paint's gonna fall off. They don't use cheap hooks. They use really good hooks. They're really sharp. Their soft baits are really good. I mean, really, they don't make anything that bad. I mean, they're all around a good company. So anyways, let's get into the 6 cent bag, and this is a July bag. So let's see what we got in here today. And as you can tell, I mean, this thing's crammed. I mean, they stuffed this thing into this bag. Another thing I like is getting these bags. They usually send you out a different color monthly. And you can use these bags for a lot of things. I mean, you can put the baits back in them. I use them for like worm bags. I put different worms in here, hook bags. I store hooks, sinkers, basically anything. I mean, it ain't even got to be related to fishing. You can just use these bags for anything. They're well made. They're not cheap. It ain't like they just fall apart. So anyways, let's look in here. All right, well, this is a little bit strange. I can tell you right now, because normally 6 Cent focuses on crankbaits. That's one of the reasons why I started getting this bag, but I can tell from this bag that they kind of focused on plastics this month, which is not a bad thing. I don't mind them. They make good plastics too. So I guess we'll start off with the hard baits. So first thing I see is a 6 Cents curved 55. It dives 5 to 9 feet. I really like this paint job. This is the black crawl. And this is really awesome. The bill's not clear. The bill on it is kind of cloudy, which is kind of different. And the eyes are green. I don't know if y'all can see that good, but see, the bill's clouded. Most of the time they're clear. And I like the big O-ring on their crankbaits. Instead of having that little bitty O-ring, you get the big one. And see, these hooks, high quality hooks. And I don't know, my camera probably don't do justice for the paint job, but you can tell, I mean, they put a lot of work into their paint jobs. So anyways, that is the curved 55, and it was called the black crawl. I like that. That's a really nice color. I've been actually waiting to get one of their black series. I know they got a lot of them. And that's a 3/8 ounce. And like I said, it dived 5 to 9 feet. Good lure. Next up is another crankbait, and this one's a big one. This one is the Cloud9 Mini Mag. SB 3.8, dives 3 to 6 feet, weighs a 7.787 ounce, and it's a silent. And the color of this one is going to be a chartreuse spank. That's a weird name. Okay. And once again, I mean, this paint job is just unreal. It is a little bit bigger than what I normally use. I see a lot of people doing this little hand thing. I don't know if it makes a difference. Y'all can comment and let me know if it makes a difference or not. But really good bait. Once again, they use that big loop instead of the little one. The hooks are big, and of course they're sharp. I mean, that's a massive little bait. Which, you know, this time of year, that's a good bait to be throwing. I mean, the bait that they're after is going to be big. The shad are, if you're fishing anywhere where there's shad and live bait, most of this time of the year, they're going to be bigger. I mean, so throwing big bait ain't necessarily a bad thing. And like I said, that was the Cloud9 Silent Mini Mag 3.8 Chartreuse Spank. Next up is some Ned Fry Grass Candy. These are a 4.6 inch 10 count. I love these things. These things work really good, and it's probably my favorite color that they got. And they're made kind of weird. They're kind of flat. I don't know if y'all can tell, but they're flat around one side and rounded on the other. And it's kind of like a green on the bottom where the flat end is, and like a purple top with some black fleck, along with some like red and blue. But this color right here does really good. I mean, it almost reminds me like of a watermelon red without the purple in it, but it works just as good. So if y'all haven't used these, I would recommend giving them a shot. And that's that Grass Candy. Really good color. Really good color. And that's a Ned Fry, the 4.6. Next up, we have the Divine Shaky Worm, 6.3 inch. And this is a 10 count. And the color is going to be ox blood. This is another cool color. I like these. Another thing I like about 6 cents plastic, especially like their worms, they come in this little individual plastic, which is really nice to keep your worms separated and straight. You can reach in there and grab just one. And this one's kind of an orange purplish color with the flat tail. Well, not flat, but a rounded tail at the end, real thin right here in the middle and kind of thick at the top. These work really good. The color's good. There's kind of a scent, but I don't know. That might be just the rubber that they use. Well, no, because there's some kind of oil on my hand, so there's some kind of scent there. But yeah, if y'all have never used 6 cents plastics, I would definitely recommend them. I mean, they're made well. They don't usually. You're gonna catch probably 3 or 4 fish per worm. I mean, it's not like the longest lasting plastic, but it's not the cheapest. But the colors that they put on these things are just unreal. And the action you get from them are crazy. So next up, oh, the Divine Swim Jig. Boy, these things are big. I've gotten some of these and they've been kind of smaller. I think these are the biggest ones I've seen, and I like that color too. These are a 4.4 inch. So yeah, this is the biggest ones I've had. The other size I had was like a 3.8. And these are electric shiner. And these are a swim jig, or a swim bait. Once again, like I said, everything comes separated. That's one thing about I really like. You don't get, you know, a lot of times you get these that are bought in plastic bags or whatever. They're all bent and you have to steam them out. Or if I try to find a different way. And that little tail right there creates a lot of action. And you can use these on, you know, for a trailer, for a spinner bait. a Swim Jig, even just running them with just like a little lead head or Texas rig, or I've used them kind of like even using them like you would use a fluke, and they work pretty good. Just kind of jerk them around on the top, because a fluke is probably my favorite bait to use, to be honest with you, whenever it comes to soft plastic. No smell, so I guess there ain't no scent on these. But let's get this thing back open here. And like I said, I mean, their plastics are just as probably good as their hard baits. I don't know, not a lot of people don't know them for their soft baits, and it wasn't until just recently that they actually started doing soft plastics in their bags. I mean, they would send you one or two here and there, but for me to get more plastics in my bag than crankbaits is really unusual. Which, like I said, I don't mind. I like their soft baits just as much as I do their hard baits. Okay, so we got some Divine jig heads. These are really nice. I like these. That'll work good with them swim baits. Yeah, they'll work really good with those swim baits. And that's another thing I like about it. Usually whenever they send you these, like your swim baits or even your worms, a lot of times they send you a set of hooks to go along with it. That way you got something to match up. You know, that way you just don't get your hooks or your swim jigs with no hooks, or you get hooks with no worms, or, you know, a lot of these boxes you don't get stuff that matches up, which makes no sense to me. I mean, if you're going to send like Ned rigs and stuff, send the whole thing. You know, send us the hooks and the worms. It don't do good to have one without the other. Woo! Okay. So anyways, this is out of the package. And like I said, they make everything such high quality. I mean, look at the paint job on the head and the eyeballs. I mean, just real. And another thing, they got that screw lock on there. So that's going to hold that bait on there really good. So it ain't coming off easily. And like I said, once again, real sharp hooks. They don't use no cheap hooks. And that was a 1/2 ounce, which is basically about what people use, a 1/2 ounce, 3/8 ounce for swim jigs. So that works out right. I'm not sure what the color was on that head. Okay, here we go. It's a sun gill. And like I said, look at those eyeballs. I mean, that thing just looks real. So for y'all that haven't gave 6 cents super sack, or any of their sacks are really good, I would give them a chance. I mean, I know I had a lot of people telling me that they didn't want to get Super Sense back because they didn't put enough plastics in there, which I agree. I mean, it used to be literally all crankbaits and that was it. I do kind of like the mix. I do wish that maybe they would have gave me one more crankbait along with it to kind of even it out, but it's okay. Like I said, if y'all ain't gave 6 cents a chance, give them a shot. I mean, you can't go wrong. The money that you get here for these baits is well worth what you pay for it. I mean, because what you spend for the bag, you're not going to be able to go to the store and buy this much stuff of this brand. So if you're looking for a high quality bait, a good bait, good action, great colors, give 6 cents a shot, because you'll be really impressed. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I should have some a rush tackle box coming in pretty soon, so I'll be doing a video on that too. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, comment, If y'all would like to see me go out and fish with these baits, leave me a comment and I'll try to do something like that. So anyways, y'all have a good day.